This is Do Me a Favour Buddy Don, and this is the inaugural Do Me a Favour Buddy broadcast. Now, I don't want to bore you with yet another podcast or another talk vehicle. Hopefully what this will be is a journey of where we are in the journey, a chance to talk to friends and get to know some new people doing some amazing stuff from around the world, and also some tips and tricks with regards to kindness on the go, in and out of the workplace, how we can apply kindness in a way that leaves impact. So it's not just something nice to have or nice to do, but actually something that can be used as activism, be used as a weapon for sustainability, a weapon for social impact. So that's basically the rationale behind what I'm doing here. And what is Do Me a Favour Buddy? Well, Do Me a Favour Buddy is a well-being app. It uses bite-sized, evidence-based acts of kindness that are tailored for you in order to improve your well-being in and out of the office. Later on, we're going to talk to a friend of mine, George, a new friend who's doing amazing things in Ghana with his sustainable farming. I had problems with the audio, so I hope you forgive me there. I will try and clean it up. The first topic I'm going to talk about is the Founder Institute and entrepreneurialism as somebody who has kindness at heart. For the Founder Institute, the reason why I applied there was because I'd been continuously had the door shut in my face when I mentioned the idea of creating a business that revolves around kindness. And we'd applied for grants and other kind of fellowships and things like that. And we continuously got the feedback that, they liked the idea at best, or worst, they just found us to be dreamers. And essentially, everybody kept saying that this isn't a business. So when I found the Founder Institute, basically, I knew that this would be a good litmus test for us. Because they really put you through the ringer. It's quite a rigorous process. You have to do like a 1-minute pitch. I think on the initial call there was about 40 of us. I found out later that 80 people applied. And then afterwards you do some kind of like psychometric test as well. And then they get back to you to let you know whether you've passed or not. And you could be offered a place on this course. So yeah, it was stress from day one. But the great thing about it was that they really changed the concept of building a business, because I really wanted to go in there, and impress them by saying, I've got a team together. We can get an app done within 6 months or so. And they really encouraged me and challenged me to say, how do you know that this is a real business? How do you know? Have you spoken to your customers? Have you even validated what the problem is? What problem are you solving? Which was just, it was a kind of shock to the system, to be honest. It forced me to go back to square one and start doing interviews with people in the community to really get them to explain what their pain points are and to see if there could be a potential solution to this, which could be offered by Do Me a Favour Buddy. If you've got an idea and you don't have the capital, it shouldn't be a reason for you to give up on the idea. Basically, that you can use the concept of kindness to push the idea forward. A practical way that you can do this is by finding collaborators on platforms online. One of my weapons of choice is LinkedIn, and they've got a good search function for finding people, and you can click on pro bono voluntary work. So you already target people that are open to the concept of kindness. And then you can set up calls with these people and really explain to them what you're trying to build. You've got to be very passionate about your idea, because, how can you ask people to accompany you on the journey if you're milquetoast? Build a friendship with them as you would in normal life. Ask them for help. There's no weakness in asking people for help. In fact, it's a very strong attribute that you can have in life, to know where your limits are and for you to ask professionals, and you can go a lot faster because you're standing on the shoulders of their experience as well. So that's what I did. Let everybody know who you are.
All right, thank you. My name is George Boakye Sarpong. I was born and raised in Ghana. I lived in Ghana, worked in Ghana, schooled in Ghana also. Throughout that journey, I have come to find my purpose after a life of real estate, retail, telecommunication, project management, sales, and marketing. I have found my purpose, which is to use everything I have within me and all that I hold dear to work for the good of Ghanaians and help break the cycle of poverty.
Wow.
Ghanaians have been trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty, which I think that it's been a bigger problem on the whole of the continent, the African continent.
Mhm.
And until we break poverty and this vicious cycle, we have no true chance of creating wealth and, having a meaningful life on the continent. And that has become my purpose in life.
That
Thank you.
is an amazing pursuit. That is amazing pursuit. I mean, so how did this manifest into your company, African Golden Food Limited?
All right. Thank you. So, wealth or poverty breaking of poverty. Poverty is caused by two main things, I will tell you. It is not lack of resources,
Mhm,
but malnutrition.
mhm,
If by the age of 3, if a child is malnourished at that time, according to data available from the World Health Organization and other sources, they say the cognitive development of the child stops or is impaired, and your immune system never gets to 100%. Therefore, right from that time, you have what challenges. You do not have the ability to grow and think critically to solve issues. And then there is literacy poverty. Literacy poverty basically is this: if by the age of 10 a child cannot read and understand what clearly what he or she is reading, then obviously it's going to be poor. If you have these two situations occurring regularly in the lives of people, then they are going to be poor because no matter what amount of resources that they have, they are never ever going to dig themselves out of poverty in that they are not able to manage it well. Choose the highest and best. You have that self-discipline that makes sure that they make the hard choices that will benefit the or that will work to the greater good of the community,
mhm.
but rather you see them, living frivolous lifestyles, and sooner or later the wealth is gone, which could have impacted a whole, generation. It's wasted on a few people and a few fancy lifestyles that you and I see on a daily basis on our continent. And I think it is about time that we made a lot of attention to say that look, poverty is not caused by lack of resources. It is rather caused by human actions. You understand? And human actions that deprive majority of the people a chance to a decent life. And I see poverty. I told you it's a vicious cycle. But in reality, it's a disease. It's a worst form of disease. It dehumanizes human beings. It makes them do things that they wouldn't otherwise do.
That's
It
true.
doesn't it's a whole lot of things that if we tackle poverty, you could solve more than half of the world sustainable development goals. You understand? And that is something that wish a lot of people will pay attention to. Governments in Africa will pay attention to, and then what work towards it. For example, if you read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, what did he say? He
Mhm.
said that if you have a pot of gold but do not have the instructions on gold, you will never have 2 coins of gold to what jingle in your pocket. And that's where we are seeing my country, Ghana, was called Gold Coast. We have had gold since the very beginning of the world. We still have gold. We export gold. But what do we get from the export of gold? Rather, our water bodies is being destroyed. It's going to lead to a lot of health problems. Now, on a daily, I hear news of dialysis problem, kidney failure, and just yesterday in the news, there's the Companoche teaching hospital. I think, I don't know, but I think it's the second biggest a government hospital or public hospital after the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. They say they have 1.5 dialysis machines and they are turning patients away.
That's terrible.
This was the news I was read before going to bed, and my heart was broken.
Yeah.
My heart was broken. So I lay in bed, tossing, tossing, tossing. I just couldn't sleep. I'm thinking, why is this?
Mhm.
Why? I have suffered a death in my family right about in November. An aunt of mine died in Kolebu
Yeah.
because of this dialysis problem.
Mhm.
And I'm asking myself, why is kidney failure on the rise? You destroy your water body, you contaminate, putting hard metals in all the things. Yes, people are going to have. So even in our quest to dig for the gold, we are not applying the right knowledge. We are not applying the right principles. And we don't even make enough from the sales of it that can work for the goods of the people, but rather bringing them health challenges is sad. It's simply sad.
Do you think is this due to a lack of knowledge or is this willful ignorance? I mean, why is this propagating? I mean, there's a lot of brain power, a lot of scientists, doctors, people that have information. Then why is it not manifesting into action?
So, yes, you can attribute it to a lot of things, but I choose to attribute it to lack of knowledge.
Mhm.
Because if you read this book, How Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which I recommend every person to read, he says that what a wise man is the one that is able to achieve all his dreams and visions, aspirations without hurting nobody. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? If you have knowledge, you can achieve all that you need or you want in life, but you will never step on anybody's toes. Do you get me?
Mhm.
But what do we see? If people say they have, knowledge, they've been to school, they have experience. I have been a project manager and a facility manager all my life. I've managed buildings, and every building I've touched in Accra, I have left my footprints there. And people that work there remember me. Even people who haven't met me in those companies, when they go and hear my name, in by chance, if they happen to meet me, they go like, "Oh, so you are the George Boakye Sarpong." You understand?
Yeah.
I make sure that I do my work and do it, and I put in systems that helps the company, even if I am no more there. You get me?
I do.
Why on a national scale can't we do that? It is simply because of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge will make you greed. Greed is good, but greed has its limits. You understand? So the minute you get uh, off those limits or you get beyond limits, then you go into the danger zone, so to say, and it is clearly that you do not have the ability to critically examine yourself. You
Mhm.
get me? Yeah. What else? Corruption. It all stems from lack of knowledge. For example, I always say that my country, Ghana, is the best country or the most easiest country to manage in the world. The people do not, they do not demand. They are very, very law abiding. Majority of the people follow the law. They are hardworking. All they want, they ask for is a good regime for what? Infrastructure, taxes, economic condition. Our currency has a very, very unattractive title. I don't want to even say it here. You understand? We have a very high tax incident. And
Mhm.
then if you go in, you see that only a few people pay taxes. The majority of the people do not pay tax because they've not been brought into the formal sector, which is the problem of government, not the citizens. You understand? The utilities are very expensive. So running a business there is quite difficult. And then there's delays everywhere, traffic. These are things, basic things that Ghanaians don't even, make so much noise about. But if it were fixed, you see Ghana as one of the most beautiful countries in the world. And unfortunately, we are caught into the partisan politics of MPP and NDC, which I think has no basis in our lives. We just need people that will do their work and deliver on the promises. Again, I see that one of our issues is that we don't have a national development agenda. So there is always a lack of knowledge there. In the partisan politics always come into play where people work according to their party manifestos. And if you are working for your party manifesto to deliver to please your base and your policies, then there is a problem for the other half, of the population. And I think that until we have a concise, national development agenda, which every African country should or must have, we are not going to be able to fully develop. Because when you have a national development agenda, that spells out the journey or the strategy of the country, irrespective of whoever is in power. That is what you are going to follow. You understand?
Okay.
And I believe that until we get there, we just have no business in saying that we are doing something for our people. No, we will not.
So, I mean, in my own journey of like starting a business, I've been able to kind of tap into like using kindness as a power and actually having it as a two-way thing where I'm helping other people and actually having people to help me. So, being able to tap into their resources in order to push things forward. Has that been possible for you at all? Can you hear me?
Hello,
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm losing you.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. Oh, you're back.
No, I lost you for some seconds. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so
I was,
I've been
okay.
tap into kindness and actually use it as a kind of superpower in networking, and it's allowed me to be able to get resources, money, talent, just from people's hearts, understanding the mission. Have you been able to tap into that yourself in order to kind of push things forward? Because, you are up against this massive, I guess, maybe cultural barrier at the moment, as you pointed out, that, people are not moving the thing forward. So how are you able to push forward? Is kindness possible for you?
All right. Yeah, I have done that. I will say that I have. I always tell my friends that I'm in the school of life and I have a degree in common sense. So what I've done is I've developed a comprehensive business plan that speaks to this, and I help to address this. And I have showed it to a few angel investors who have come on board to help support. And now I'm on the fundraising mission. But what I see is this: a lot of businesses who want to finance this project do not want to talk about the impact aspect, or helping the capacity building and learning,
Mhm.
and that is difficult.
Mhm.
So I'm having to separate the go-to-market strategy, the small things that will help us generate revenue and build up, and then present that part to investors, and then set aside the impact side. Because most investors, yes, it is nice to train people to build a result, help them become, but what they want is, how, if I invest, when am I going to get my money? What are you going to do? And when are you going to pay back? With what is the impact in terms of the finance? You understand? But and so you have to adapt. But my business plans simply say that we take one rural community. You understand? We set up a base there with mechanization. We farm in a sustainable way, teach the farmers and the workers the modern methods of farming, help them and aggregate also from their farm. You understand? And then clean it, salt it, process it for a ready buyer. So it generates money. It helps to teach people and build their capacity for them to improve their productivity.
Mhm.
You get it?
Mhm.
And when we keep on doing this, we now develop something that becomes an attraction in a rural area. You
Mhm.
understand?
Mhm.
This business will be so successful. We can fix a few infrastructure, we can expand, we can attract talent from all over, And ultimately, it will stop the rural-urban migration, where people will rather move from the urban areas into these rural areas because they are short of decent quality jobs. You understand? And I believe that there is a role for, or there is a space for such an enterprise to exist, whereby on a business front, it actually makes money and delivers on investors' KPIs. You understand? But also generate a bit more surplus revenue that can be applied to help develop an ecosystem that trains people, begins to turn them. I have been in the retail space for a long time, and I see that, look, if you have a shopping mall and you have a white box, a space in the box, most people look at the space and they don't even can't even imagine what to do in this box. But the minute they see somebody fit out and start installing their finishes and then putting in their merchandise, then they'll come and say, "Oh, kick this guy out and give me that space." I said, "No, that is his design. That is his idea." So I realized that a lot of people cannot imagine or conceptualize from the base what is it that they need to do to get to where they want to go. And this is the learning that I need to teach people, because if you tackle agriculture, you have the ability to produce good, nutritious food at affordable prices that can feed the population. You understand? And at the same time, you can export it on the international market and generate hard currency. But when you process it, the beauty is where you process it, add value, and so that you get the returns in 4 or 5 times multiple, as opposed to selling it raw. And then you do the waste management and you do all that. This project has the ability to inculcate clean energy, irrigation, water solution system, and housing system that can help turn around the life in the rural community in any African village. You understand? And this turnaround is what we want to export to other parts of the country and to Africa, other parts of African countries, so that they can begin to see that in a small ecosystem, they are becoming, very effective. They can now be formalized. They can now be enrolled in government schemes. They can now be assessed and taxed. You understand? And they can contribute meaningfully to society.
Fantastic. We've just got a 30 seconds left of the meeting here. So where can people reach you? How can people get in contact with you?
www.agf.farm, my website. There is a contact form there. When you fill it out, I can easily be reached. And then also my on LinkedIn, George Boakye Sarpong. If you look at George Boakye Sarpong African Golden Food, I'll come up. You can add me up, send me a direct message, and yes, I'll be able to respond. Thank you.
And is there any act of kindness that anybody can do for you to push your business forward or your movement?
Yeah. Yes, if they can introduce me to investors that are interested in seeing impacts in Africa, breaking the poverty cycle, or even financial houses that are interested in financing projects in Africa, I will be able to, I will be very, very appreciative of that. And then I can have a meeting to raise the fund. I'm on the market to raise 3 million to scale this project.
Great, wonderful. Please, George, keep us abreast of your progress. We'd like to have more conversations with you, because I think we've only just kind of touched the surface of what's happening. So I definitely like to do, possibly a face-to-face sit down with you and really explore some of these themes that you've engaged with today. But
all right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
I look forward to that. Yes, I will also love that.
So there you have it. First episode done. Please like and subscribe where you see our broadcast pop up. Sorry. Please like and subscribe where you see our broadcast pop up. And please share your thoughts. What can we improve? I know there's a ton of things. But what do you want to see or hear more of? And try and make that happen. But most of all, join me for the journey. Let's see where it takes us. All right, take care. Bye bye.